And welcome to my channel and to the third in this series of just decorating a page in my journal. So I have picked out a few things that I would like to use. I've decided for this one, it's the back of this one we did last time, this little piece here. I decided I'd like to do a pocket, but maybe like a double pocket. So have two tags in the back pocket and a little tag in the front pocket. These are just some pre-made tags. I buy them in bundles every now and again. So I've got those. I have been through some old Janie's originals. I honestly can't tell you what this collection this was from. It was in most of it, I think. In fact, all of the paper was from in a lucky dip pack, but I've kind of been through and picked out things that I think go together. So obviously this is way more paper than I'm going to need, but at least I've got some sort of coordinating things there. So I picked out I couldn't guarantee that you'd get these if you got a lucky dip pack, but you know, lucky dip packs from Janie are really worth having a look at if you're just starting. You know, it gives you a whole range of different sort of papers. Sari ribbon, again from Janie. Some lace. You can sometimes get lace bundles from Janie. These are from, I think, the printed ephemera pack, but I don't know, she does change things, so they might not be. So pick those out. These are also Janie again. I honestly don't know where I've necessarily got them from, and these tiny ones as well. But they all matching with this. Sorry, these are right at the top. I didn't realize quite how high up they were. Some rolls of stickers. Janie's doesn't make the stickers, but those were from Janie. Some little labels from my stash. Some of those kind of like vintage style die cuts. Some little die cut shapes. And yeah, it's kind of a case of we'll see where we go. I think this one I think I'd like as the background, and I kind of like the idea of that edge, that sort of deep purple edge. So I might have to make it just a little bit bigger so that I can just doing is just sort of putting a bit of a fold line just so I can see where to cut it, and then we'll stick it, and then we'll trim it. We'll trim it down. Just do that. Haven't quite decided how I'm going to make the pocket. I'm going to try and keep it easy, so it might just be a simple pocket and then a smaller version of that on the top. You know, other points I might we'll do pockets again, which we probably will. We'll look at how to fold a piece. There we go. Okay, so I'll get the scissors and into cut along there. A bit of white there, and what I might have to do just for me later is to get my ink pad out and just deal with that. Then cut up this side and then I'm going to just get my could keep that bit's a little bit too small. My corner, I'm not sure whether this one That one might be too small. Let's try the big one. These are very old. Don't think you could even get them anymore, but they are so useful. I think that one's better fit. There we go. Yeah. So once we got that, still got that nice edge there. Just gonna ease that into that fold there. Okay. So I've got the background. Now I want to think about making the pocket. So I quite like this. I think what I could do is make the big pocket out of this one, and then the smaller pocket out the bit at the top. So I'm going to start by, I'm just folding this. I'm not measuring this. Sometimes when you're working in sort of junk style journals, they're not a consistent size. So sometimes it's just easier to do it by eye. So what I'm doing now is I just folded the bottom so that we'll stick that, and I'm just working out how tall I want this back pocket. I just wonder whether I might go, I think I might go all the way up to there, or down there. I'll use that. Yes, I'm going to go to there. I'm going to get there. Oh, sorry. I don't really know what to do about that on the camera. It keeps fading in and out with the focus. Right, so that's that one. So I'm going to now just fold that in there, and I'm not sure I need to fold in here. There. Now I could just cut those bits off, but I'm going to leave them on. It's just as easy. So that's my bottom pocket. We're going to snip into the thing to make it sit nicely in a bit, and then we're just going to make similarly, but a smaller one. So you might take a bit off of that just to sit on the front. Okay. Pocket and tags are probably two of the most used and useful and easiest to use things in when making journals. So fold that in. I think we're going to put that in quite a lot, and I might then cut some of that off. Where's my little tag? I mean, it needs to be big enough for that. So yeah, let's go with that. And then what I'll do is I'll just trim off that bit there. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open this out, and I'm going to just kind of cut across so that that will fold there and that will fold in there. So I'm just going to do the same there. So that will be the pocket on the top of that one. In fact, I might just drop that pocket a little bit further down. Quite like that idea. And then we just need to do the same on here. But I am going to just trim a little bit off of this one because it's a bit wide. Ugh. Fingers aren't working properly. So we'll go there. We'll go there. Okay, so now the other thing you can do, which I should have thought about before, but I'm going to still do it anyway, it just shortens my things a bit, is I am just going to fold that top bit down and glue it before I do anything else. All that does, what that does is it gives a little bit more strength, because you're going to be putting your tag in and out at the top there, and that's where the weakness will be. So we're just going to give it a little bit of additional strength by putting a little bit of glue So folding that over and gluing it. So I think we need a little bit more glue there. That's so, okay, right. Okay, so I'm going to put, I'd make sure that's not going to glue to there. Put some glue on here, here, and here. Now, because this glue at the top's still a bit damp, that's sticking. If it does stick, it's okay for me, but you might want to just take a little bit more care to make sure that. I'm also just making sure this has got a little bit of a bow in the top. Just gives it the room to take your tags. Okay. And then this one, same. Bit of glue here, bit of glue here, and a bit of glue here. Like so. We just drop that one down a little bit. There. And there. So we're just going to put that to the side. That's the pockets done. Now we might come back and we might add a little bit of decoration on there. I'm just going to move it out of the way of the camera so the camera's not trying to focus on it. And we're going to look at the tags. Okay. So as I said at the beginning, we've got way more paper than we need, but what I wanted was to make sure everything coordinated. We had a little bit of a you know, a little bit of coordination. So I'm going to use use this. Now, what I tend to do is I probably won't use the string anyway. The string will go in my little tub of various fibers for other uses. So what I will do, and then I'm going to cover the whole of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the glue on the tag. And then just place the paper over like so. And then we're just going to put that to the side. We'll trim that in a minute. And then we're going to decide what are we going to put on. I think what we might do is just do the same on one side of all of the tags. So we use this. And then have the other side with a bit more going on. Sometimes when I'm doing pages, I get, it's a color theme or it's a particular image or a particular piece of ephemera that I want to use, and then I'll look in my stash and base everything around that. Sometimes it's just a bit of a dig, see what I can find. What I can't find at the moment is the lid to my glue. Oh, there it is, under my arm. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to cut around these. All three. And I'm probably, for this, because it's quickest and easier, I'll probably cover the whole of the other side with a piece of paper. You can, getting a sort of a base background on a tag with scraps is another way that perhaps we'll look at another time, similar to the collage strips that I was talking about in the previous video. Not the previous one, was it the first one? Oh, losing track. I think it was the first page I did. I used part of a collage strip and part of a old masterboard. But I'll come back to those again another time. But this one is a fairly, it'll look like you've done a lot more than you actually have with this one. So And what I will do now, once I've got these cut out, is to what's the word, to uh get my crocodile, and I just like to punch those holes through. I just like to maintain sort of, oops, the idea of where that, why did that not punch? What's wrong with my punch? It might be, no, it shouldn't be glue, should it? Don't know why that's doing that. Let's see. Yep, same with that. Looks like I don't know how you'd sharpen a hole punch. But probably cut through some metal, I think is the usually the suggestion, which I might have to do because it's not liking it. Oh, my poor crocodile. Right. Well, I've got a hole, so we know where the hole is. Anyway, right, these bits, I will keep, some of them are a bit too small, but I will keep hold of them. I won't throw them away, even the little bits, until I finish the project. And then I will go through and bits like this I'd keep in my scrap box. But bits like this, bits like this, if I haven't used them on this project, will probably go in the bin. So we don't want that the other side. We've got so we've got that side of our 3 tags, and then I think I'm gonna get 2 out of this. In fact, yeah, we can definitely get the 2 there. Wondering if we can get that butterfly. See up the right? Yes, I think we could use that just that sheet then. Then we don't need to fit into another one, which is good. So just the same as I did before. Glue on the tag. Like so. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. I do apologise. Excuse me. Dear me. All that pollen that's around. Go. Gotta make sure I'm right at the top so that we get that butterfly in the right place. First, I think. Yeah, that little butterfly is just right there. So, and then these 2. So I go quiet when I'm doing this. Forget that you're you're sat there watching. Sorry about that. Right. Okie dokie. So, as I said, this is the quickest way. I mean, other alternative ways you could ink, you could ink and stamp, you can do collage, more sort of smaller bits of collage to cover it entirely, whatever sort of suits your style or the way that you want to do this particular project. So let's just get these holes punched in again. Maybe it was the paper. Don't know. Since you've gone through that paper, all right. Where's my little one? Where's my little one gone? And okay, so this is where we're at the moment. So we've got two bigger tags that are going to sit in there, and one little one that's going to sit in there with sari ribbon through them. Probably need a little bit more glue there. I would probably suggest, obviously, take a bit more time than I do and use a spatula, you know, something like this to actually spread the glue so it's, you know, that the whole of the thing you're sticking is covered. I'm a bit too haphazard and I rush. See, look there. This is what happens. So be a little bit more thorough than I am and make sure it's all stuck down. Okay, so now it's several things to do. What are we going to add to these? Now, I do like these, and I think these are, well, these will fit perfectly on that side because we don't want to add any more width to them. So I think those are too big for these. So what else have we got? I found in the in amongst my these die cuts, these two, which I thought were perfect colour for that. I'm going to add something probably underneath, but I just want to work out exactly what I want to do with I might be able to use a couple like that on there, which will look good. So I don't necessarily think we need much, if anything, on that side because it's got such a lovely print. Like those there. What have we got here? I do wonder whether yeah. Just those will overshadow what we've got on here. And maybe one of those there, one there, maybe yeah, maybe just one there. It I think I say this every time, it's just a case now of what have you got? What's it looking like? Do you like what you're seeing? Do I like that? I feel like that's too creamy, so maybe not. And that's too big. And I don't know that I want to rip it up for this particular project. So let's keep going with some bits of card. Sorry, I'm sort of go quiet. It's just trying to work out what I want. I don't know if I like that. Oh, the pink one. Like that, maybe. There. What have I got? I haven't got a whole lot in here. No. Well, I like that on there. I do like that on there. I'm not sure. Do you know what? Sometimes I think maybe I overcomplicate. I've got a couple of butterflies. How could we use the butterflies? Well, I say the butterflies. One's a butterfly. I think the other one's a moth. Do you know what? I don't think I'm going to add anything else to that. I really do quite like the way those look, just like that. And I'm just wondering then whether I could put these, or maybe not even that, just that there. Um, right, let's go in this. I do love these colours. They just seem to all be um just working really nicely. I think, sometimes you get all these things out, you don't have to use them. I get them out because I think, oh, that might look nice with that, or that might look nice with that. But actually, when I get to it, it might be too big, the wrong shape. You know, it might just not be the right thing for that particular project. But I do like these. Janie is very into entomology. You know, she's she's done museum visits. She's been given, you know, access to archives, and so all of these things are quite quite unique to Janie and her style. So we've got those two, and I'm quite happy with that. I'm going to turn over, and I'm not sure I actually want to add anything more. Might find a little sticker in this one. I like this roll of stickers. I'm the same with this, but we'll just finish this off. And then I'm going to have a quick look to see if I can find some words. And then I think we're pretty much finished because, yeah, no need to overcomplicate it. It's a little page with a couple of pockets, just making sure I've got this up the right way. The little, okay, that's just slightly off there. That's okay. All right, let's have a look at these. Oh, let's just stick these as well. That one's got to go there. And then this one. One can just come off the side there. And then this little one there. And then this on the top. Like that. And this butterfly up here. Oh no, not there. Up here. Like that. Right. Now what I'm going to do. This roll, I just love this with these like the numbers and it says planner, and I just think they're quite cute stickers. So we're just going to see what we can find that might work on these. Then what else have we got? Yeah, that specimen number. These are great little set stickers. I don't honestly know where she got them from. But I think they are really, really useful. Do I want more than one? I'm probably not. I might find some words. Where's the little one? Like so. Okay. And then I'm just gonna, now there we go. I didn't use that. Could have used that across the pocket. Could I still use that across the pocket? Am I going to be able to get that up? No. Okay, so will that one come up? No. Okay, so we'll leave that off. Should have thought of that earlier, but it's okay. It's not the end of the world. Keep it for another project. Right, so what I'm looking for now is my box of words. Bear with me. So let's see. At least this colour is probably. You see, you can see there's some arrows. Sometimes when I'm doing a project, I'll already have picked out what I want, and I'll have put an arrow on it so that I know what I'm doing, but I haven't here. So let's just have a look and see. In fact, I think this, not those, these ones. What have we got? So that's practice kindness. That is very nice. That look nice just there. Practice kindness. We'll just have it on that side. So what are we going to put on this one? So I'm going to have a purpley one. It's all perspective. Yeah, how about that one? It's all perspective. There. And might be able to get over the more lighter colour one. Yes. Make today count. Will that go? I think so. Let's put it under there. Make today count. Okay, so that's those. I think we want one on here. Oh, I like this. We're going to cut it into this one though. It says live each day with grace and authenticity. So we're going to cut there. Oh, and there. Right, so, oh, let's stick down there. So, live each day with grace and authenticity. There we go. Nice. Okay, the last thing then is to put some. So, what color are we going to go for? This one, the pinker one, or the purple one? I think the purple one. So, I reckon about that. I'm not going to cut it till I've got it through because sometimes I cut it too short, sometimes I cut it too long. So I'm just going to go with that for the minute. See that now is too long. Don't want it that long. See, and if I'd have already cut it, then it would have. Yeah, that will do. Where's my scissors? So there. That's one. There. And I reckon we are going to cut this time, so I reckon it's about there. And that one. So. Up. But we don't pull too hard because this is only paper and card, so that's the other one. Why we're not going in. I'm getting caught on that. There we go. I think I might put that one that way as well. So those two, and then smaller bit. Oh, we've got a join there, so I'm just going to snip that off. And then have a bit here. So yeah. So there we go. That one in there. Perhaps in that way. There we go. So there's our page for this video. I'll photograph it with a bit of white underneath so that we can focus on that page. But yeah, so there we go. Thank you for joining me, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.